We're dads,
This is the Dad vs. Dad podcast.
where we talk remotely because I don't know why. I'm actually feeling heaps better today.
Yeah, I'm going to Melbourne in the morning.
Yeah. Well,
And I've got to get Vera there as well. She's got to sleep.
yeah.
No.
I was
No.
busy fighting kids. It's yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to just discuss quickly the whole teenage angst and hating your parents is
Yeah.
an actual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I never hated Dad, but I definitely remember being pissed off at how he was so adamant to give us an hour lecture.
You know what? I never hated them either. But there's definitely that. And from on their end, it probably felt like we hated them.
Yeah, yep.
And your kid probably doesn't hate you right now, but it's probably going to feel like it.
Yeah, yep.
And you're giving him your 3-hour lectures.
I
I'm going to
do-
do a blow nose.
I do.
This is going to be a little... I'm going to cut this out and back to it. So, angsty.
Yeah, look,
Angsty Opie.
I don't think he hates me, but he's definitely not happy with me. But to be fair, I'm not really happy with him. So it kind of worked, because basically what happened, okay, it's a respect thing. And he's gotten to an age where he's a know-it-all. So everything that we say, he's got an answer to the point of we've started giving him a bit more leniency and trusting him with a bit more, to the point where we'll be like, all right, we're going to leave you guys here while we race to the shop and come back.
Yeah.
Right? Just that little responsibility thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yesterday I had the roast on and I'm like, oh, I'll turn it down a little bit, but I'll tell him exactly what to do if something goes wrong, and then we're safe.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, if anything happens, turn it off and call me. Simple. Real simple. The only thing that's all I said. And he goes, nothing's going to happen. I'm like, I know nothing's going to happen. It's very, very unlikely that something will happen. But the fact is, you need to know that if something happens, that this is how you deal with it.
Yeah. Don't try to put out the fire yourself.
Yeah. And that was the fight. And and it's as simple as that. I'm like, dude, if you just listen without speaking, then no one's frustrated, and I know you heard me.
Yeah.
I'm not angry.
I think there's like an element of, I'm not stupid, Dad. And he's at the age, when you're teens, you think, maybe you're smarter than your parents, and in a lot of ways, and this kind of thing.
Maybe.
And they'll give you advice and whatever. It's like, yeah, I could have thought that up.
I got report cards this week, and they're not good. So maybe he's smarter than me in some ways.
He's dumber than all the other kids.
but not academically. So until he shows that effort, then
Whoa, are you saying you did better?
No, I was terrible.
your
No,
grades were
actually,
better.
no, I was C average.
Okay, really?
Yeah, across the board. Unless it was something that I was like, I really don't care, like Indonesian. I think I got D in Indonesian and then maybe something else, but everything else I was a C.
I got D's in heaps of stuff. I never did assignments or anything.
Which is crazy, because...
I think maths was what I did best in.
Yeah, I was in remedial maths. But I had a great teacher.
English and failed that.
Oh, really? See, I did well in English, and even in college, the teacher was like, I know you hate this, but you are so good. And I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm going to pursue a career at Hungry Jack's.
Yes.
And so I did.
And look where you are now.
Yeah, man, life is a struggle. Maybe I should have focused more. If we'd focused more... See, but that's the thing. Like, we've got cousins and stuff who are like nurses or scientists, and it's like, man, when they're like, hey, what do you do for work? I'm a scientist. What about you? It's like,
Customer service.
Customer service. I do this. I pick up a phone. I answer thing. Like, it's just... Like, they're not embarrassing roles. I'm pretty... Like, I'm stoked where I am right now. But it's that whole thing of, like... but you're a scientist.
It's not something that anyone would tell anyone else.
Yeah, you're not bragging about your customer service role.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, someone's got to do it, and someone's got to do it better than everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of better than everyone else, really considering making my own stickers.
Yeah, you
Like
said
bumper stickers for cars, right? Canberra, we're better than you.
Yeah.
And just sell it to Canberrans. Because it plays on that whole, like, arrogant, above everyone else
Yeah.
Canberran attitude.
And then something, picture of a bus shelter.
Oh,
It's a shelter.
bus shelters.
My mouth is red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
Red love.
Oh.
You're
my
tired. You're low energy.
I'm tired. I'm low energy. All right, well, let's get into some poo news.
What?
So this week in poo news,
Okay.
cops say that a man pees and poos in a neighbour's yard and then burglarizes Pierce Brosnan's house. You imagine what's going through this criminal's head after he pees and poops in a neighbour's yard, robs a house, and then James Bond is there. It's like, shit, he sent MI6 after me.
Do you think? See, James Bond would be the worst person. If it was like Daniel Craig, like the newer guy, I'd be more threatened. Or Sean Connery.
He was cleaning himself
I was,
using Brosnan's water.
oh, well, that's not robbing.
He stole water.
Well, do you think he just like... He was just a jogger on his way and then just, I got a crap, and ran into a neighbour's house and he's like, okay, I'll just wash myself here. And just
Maybe.
so happened to be Pierce Brosnan.
He might have stole some other things.
Well, I mean, while you're there...
Yeah, I don't think he planned to break into Pierce Brosnan's house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that James Bond?
I imagine a pretty nice house he has.
Well...
Though he doesn't look like James Bond right now. He's got the goofy, like almost Colonel Sanders beard moustache combo thing going on.
Didn't he always have
all
that?
grey hair, huh?
Oh, yeah. No, he's gone old.
Yeah, he's gone real old.
He was never that big of an actor, though. Like, I didn't see him in anything else, I don't think.
But a lot of James Bonds are pretty much just the James Bond, and then they don't do a lot else.
Do you reckon... Oh, yeah, maybe.
You know, a guy from Queanbeyan was a James Bond. I think Lazenby was his name.
Lazenby? No.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the old guy? Well, he is an old... No. Queen Bee and James Bond.
Lazenby? Yeah, George Lazenby.
George Lazenby.
Oh, his house is for sale.
Oh, he was like an old one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was like a real rough one. He only did one though.
From Queanbeyan. Ugh.
He did one James Bond. He's like, I don't think he did any other movies or anything. He just did that, and like, they spotted him. He was doing like car commercials or something.
Mm.
Like, I don't know if it was like car repair ones or car sales commercials, but he's in commercials.
Jeez, you'd make a good Bond.
You go from that to James Bond and then just nothing else.
You wouldn't need to.
Yeah,
You're an
that's true.
overnight success.
Yeah, and so something he's part of this crazy huge legacy of movies.
Mm.
Then he's just on the way.
I bet they're like, man, we should not have gotten that guy. And that's why I only did one.
Yeah.
They found out what the town's really like. They were like, oh, Queanbeyan. Why did we get that guy? Gross.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's fun James Bond facts for you.
I found a news, I think. Oh, okay. So, A guy from Britain carved his girlfriend's name into Rome's Colosseum, now facing up to 5 years in jail.
Oh, God.
Why?
He should get as many years in jail as how old the pillar is. They should actually just put him in the Colosseum and rerun some of the gladiator games. Yep.
Yeah, like has to fight his way out. Like,
Yep.
how much do you really love your girlfriend? You can keep it up there, but you fight for it.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, man, I would love to see... They don't do anything like that anymore? Gladiator games?
Kind of. I mean, various sports and things are kind of the closest thing we have to it. Like,
Yeah, but
we don't have animals versus people, but we've got people versus people in like sports, fighting,
Human
other
rights
things.
ruins everything.
football.
Football? Yeah, all right.
There's lots of different ways that people are competing to be the best and stuff, just without killing each other.
Yeah.
It's the only difference.
But do you, like, back in the day when they were like, look, you got to fight till the death. Hey, do you reckon our king's going to bring back some crazy laws?
No.
No?
No, I don't. I think it'll just be normal and the same
The Queen
as
went...
always.
The Queen kind of just stopped all rampages and went soft, and the world got soft.
Yeah, it would be cool if you just was like, you know what, we need the Empire to be huge again. Let's take over America or something.
Yeah. Let's fight a war.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we're basing these mountains. Let's get into the mountains.
Huh.
Mountain Molehill,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
So last episode we're doing it based on episode 68. Then episode 70, we're going to see what's the best out of the last 4 mountains.
This is weird.
We have to. Anyway, so these last mountains were Tantrums and Being Too Old to Enjoy Triple O.
Mm-hmm.
Triple J.
Being too old to enjoy Triple O. You're like, yeah.
So we
Dial
got
that
some comments
number.
on the video.
Okay, yep.
The thumbnail should be... Because we forgot to draw the thumbnail for this one.
I'm going to go back and do it. I'm
Okay.
just going to do
Well,
a guy whistling.
do this one. No. The thumbnail should be a drawing of Jeremy flinging his earwax bomb at Kevin. Because that was the one we talked about, my earwax bomb.
Yuck. Do I have to draw... I might just do like a beautiful boulder. Like a yellow boulder, knowing exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
With like a space theme in the background.
Okay. Pretty good. Oh, yeah. One thing. You won.
You! What?
Being too old to enjoy Triple J. God, what a joke of a mountain.
What? No, it's a good mountain.
No. So what is your mountain this week?
My mountain this week. Oof. I'm going for the votes. And I don't necessarily believe in it, and I feel like I shouldn't bring it in because there could be much more research in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so on the fence. All right. Vegans.
Yeah.
Vegans is my mountain.
We have a vegan listener.
Oh, good. Okay.
So you got to lose that vote.
So, I don't necessarily dislike vegans, okay? Nothing wrong with them. And again, this goes back to my thing about if you have an opinion on someone or something, that's great. Keep it to yourself. It's like preachers for the Bible. It's not going to change anyone's world with you telling everyone how much you love your God.
Yeah.
So,
But also, and a fun thing, like, because our vegan listener isn't a pusher. Doesn't really push, oh, you shouldn't eat meat and all this. Like,
yep.
kind of keeps it to herself. But I feel like if you are a vegan, you're not making any difference in the world. no fewer animals are dying because you don't eat animals. But
Okay.
so really, they should be pushing it. They have an obligation to push it
You
on other
reckon?
people because if they're not making a difference in the world.
Well, no,
They're just
I've never
there's
met.
like 1/8 of a cow less being eaten.
Okay. When have you ever been convinced by someone forcing an opinion down your throat?
No, never. It's dumb.
Never. Never, ever. Not even once. In fact, it deters people, and then they make stupid jokes like, how do you know if someone's vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's actually,
No.
it's pushes. Maybe my mountain is veganism pushes. Okay?
Pushers.
Pushers. Pushers, not pushes.
Just vegans. Yeah, because they're not all.
Yeah,
bags.
because genuinely, if I had the willpower and enjoyed more yuck foods, I would probably give it a go.
Well, you know what my favourite thing? Because for a while they were pushing the it's good for the environment too because of all the cow farts. Like because we've got so many cows in a condensed area, and all the cow farts are, they're bad for the environment and they're causing greenhouse gases. False. They've done further studies on it.
Yeah.
The methane is a naturally produced carbon dioxide, and because the way it comes out, it just kind of dissipates normally. Like it's not adding any extra problems to the environment. All these cows being together.
To be honest as well, if you've ever sat in a room with a fart, it goes away.
Yeah.
You're never like an hour later, wow, that fart's still here. And that's
but
indoors,
Your exhaust fumes go away,
right? Yeah.
but they go into the atmosphere and cause problems.
Okay, but
Your
that
farts don't.
that might be, yeah, so it might be like the breaking down of whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, like, personally, I think back in the day when there were gladiators and stuff, there were people, I've probably brought this up at some point, but I reckon there were certain people who were meant to eat certain meals and others who weren't.
Yeah.
Right? So, for example, if you're a giant weight lifter, maybe you do need more proteins and stuff. So,
There are vegan weightlifters.
well, there are. In fact, a lot of them have proven that veganism is a much cleaner, healthier weightlifting method.
But they're never as good.
Arnie
They'll probably
was.
never be a world number one.
Arnold Schwarzenegger ended up going vegan,
When?
probably after his championships.
Yeah, because he always talked a lot about meat and stuff. Back then.
Yeah, because I remember watching a documentary on it a while ago and how they did it. It's just a cleaner way of eating. And that's fine. I mean, if you think about it, eating veggies does make you feel less gross. And if you eat meat and stuff, you generally feel pretty gross.
No, I feel good after eating meat. When I went keto,
Yeah.
I was pretty much almost exclusively meat diet,
Yep.
and I felt amazing. I felt better than I ever had in my life.
Oi, pork belly.
Constant, perfect energy. What?
Pork belly is
I love pork
it's
belly.
the best thing ever. It's
Oh,
uncomfortably good.
you know what speck is?
Nah.
A big chunk of pork belly that's been cured like ham, but it's a pork belly instead of a leg. So it's this delicious, extra fatty ham stuff.
You
I
know,
use that in my carbonara. It's amazing.
maybe I should go keto again.
I can't afford to, really.
Um,
Expensive. Like, when you can fill out a meal for like $1, it's like hard to justify.
and also the fact that it's like, I'm working shift work, so for me to do that, you do need to plan your meals a bit better. You got to prepare and organize, and like you got to cook on the day most of the time, and
Yeah.
Whereas if you're doing like shift work, I just grab a meal out of the freezer and I go, easy.
Yeah.
So no, keto's not for me. But eventually, we're gonna have to bring back in the weight challenge
Yeah, we should.
because I'm pretty sure I'm up.
We need to get back on the bikes as well.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, the vegan thing's funny. I saw a restaurant in Melbourne
Yeah.
recently saying that they're refusing to let vegans in.
I heard this.
They can piss off. But it's absolutely just I don't know if you've heard of White Moose Cafe. They're a cafe in Dublin, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, somewhere else in the world. And the guy, he would make really controversial tweets and things and rules around his restaurant, like, you know, no vegans or whatever, and no gluten intolerant people. He'd say, if you, like, he said he's getting the gluten intolerant bread, the gluten free bread, but you have to bring a doctor's certificate or we're not doing it for you. But he would make all these controversial things. And because he kind of was doing this outrage media thing, and now he goes around and does talks about how outrage media can really grow your business, because like his business is crazy successful now. Because it makes a bunch of vegans really upset, a bunch of gluten-free people upset, and they spread the news. They're like, how dare this person see this? And
But also,
people see that and go, oh my God, that's funny. Like,
yeah, it's so funny because the haters are generally the people who push the people who are like, who cares? I'm going there. Yeah,
But I feel like it's like vegans just don't love animals as much as we do. Like, we love animals, every part of them. We love them when they're alive. We love hanging around them. And then we love putting them inside us as well.
You know,
and wearing them.
I got shown a halal video right after eating a kebab. And I get that the way that they treated that animal was horrific. But at the same time, I'm like, but I don't do it for that. I eat it because food is a sustainable thing. And
I
also,
eat it because I love animals.
And if I'm going to spend the money, I'm going to get something I enjoy. It's like, I don't go to a club and buy a, like, schnitzel dinner and ask for the salad because I won't eat the salad. I've paid money. I don't want that. But if I eat
Leave
at home...
the salad off, please. It's just like this embarrassing, yes, I'm a child, when they come to collect your plate and there's still a salad on there.
Wasting food. It looks dumb. Yeah, it's like, just don't bother. And if you're paying food, you pay for the food you like.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get back to my point of vegans.
Yeah.
Vegans, you're not going to change anyone's mind by telling everyone else you're a vegan. And the best way to convince someone to go that direction is probably by introducing them to food that you bring in, like snacks first.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, I got this snack. Try this. This is really good. Yeah. Like, don't just come along and go, did you know the earth is bloody dying of cow farts? It's not.
Yeah. To be honest, I've known 3 vegans in my life. 3 vegans and a vegetarian. Not one of them had tried to push me on their worldview or try and convince me that veganism is the way.
I had a girlfriend in high school who was vegetarian, but every now and then took a bite of my burgers.
Yeah.
Good on her.
Now, a thing with that, I don't have a problem with that because she's not funding the death of cows. And that's I think if a vegan is given a plate of food and there's accidentally a bit of bacon or something in it, they should still eat it because it's
a waste.
It's just a waste otherwise. And like, it's that
ethically
you didn't pay for it. You're not supporting that industry. That was a free bit of meat by accident. If anything, by eating that, that's meat no one's paid for.
That didn't go to waste.
That's a negative impact on the meat industry.
But is it like, that's such a weird thing to say. It's a weird thing to think about, right? Because if you're eating meat, you gotta think ethically. That person's gonna be like, oh, I really can't do that. Dietary wise, maybe it's gonna mess with them a little bit. I don't know. I've never stopped eating meat more than a day.
Yeah. I think I don't do vegetarian meals. I know Maddox used to do this, like sponsor a vegetarian. And what you do, or sponsor a vegan even, and you find a vegetarian, and you say, for every animal you don't eat, I'm going to eat 2.
Yeah, I don't know.
So effectively, every time, if they have a salad,
Yeah.
you eat 2 steaks. That means that person has made 0 impact. So what that person can do... No. Sorry. You eat 3 animals for every animal they don't eat.
Which means that they're
So then,
contributing
if
one.
they do eat 1 animal, they saved an animal. So they're saving animals' lives by eating animals and not making you eat 3 animals.
That's so dumb.
It's great, though. You can really make a difference in a vegetarian's life by sponsoring them.
Well, because they then have to eat the meat to feel less guilty. But
Yeah,
then
because if they don't eat the meat, then 3 animals are going to die.
guarantee that person is unfriending you before they... You're like dead to them immediately. There is no way I'm hanging out with that arsehole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a generous thing to do because it means they can guilt-free eat meat now.
Well, what's your mountain?
Okay.
Go.
My mountain is modern Android devices.
Android.
They've really,
Okay.
really gone downhill. They used it when Androids were first around, like HTC and all that. Those HTC phones were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Super customizable. Every button, every feature you could change to make work the way you want.
Yep.
You could screen capture on anything, like any screen, anywhere. You could do screen cap. A lot of things on new Android phones, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can only screen cap on certain things. And if you try to, like while you're watching a movie or something, you might want to make a meme, try and screen cap. Nope, won't let you.
Really?
There's a million other ways to get that still. You could just load it up on TV and take a picture, or like, they're just making it a little bit more difficult to get that still. It's very frustrating because it's like, it's pointless. You're not saving anything.
Yep.
And also, the old Android used to just be able to long press on a word
Yep.
or a URL or anything and just select the text in it.
Yep.
Now you can't. It didn't. It could have been a PDF or anything. You just long press and select the text. Now you can on some screens, but not all screens. And you can't do it on URLs either. So you can't select a little bit of URL. You got to select the whole thing. You can't like move the arrows in and select only a little bit. It's like, nope, you're selecting it all.
So, I had been a Android person for years, right?
Yeah.
But I did like the known brands, Samsung, you know,
I should have done a numbered thing.
from S4 up to about S20, I think.
Yeah.
So I'd been with Android quite some time, many years.
Yeah.
And then my last phone, I'm like, it's just not doing what, like, I'm not excited about this.
Mm.
And then I heard that Apple, you could make one thing connect to another thing just because. So, like, right now, so I ended up getting the tablet first.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. Like, I can do my music on it. I can write my notes. I can do so much. Everything.
Yeah. Whatever. We're not selling Apple just
No,
because we're
no,
shitting on Androids.
no, but hear me.
And
then
that's not a good alternative for me.
And then I bought the Apple phone as well, which connects to my tablet. So if I'm writing a note in a notepad on my phone, it will go to my tablet. It's really amazing.
Androids, I think they can still do that, but my old HTC would do that easily. Like, if you Googled something on the computer, then you just heading out, you'd open your phone, and you'd still have the Google page there on your phone. With like,
So that'd be okay.
and there was lots of little things like that, like instant communication between your devices and like really quick and easy stuff. And now, I don't know, they've overcomplicated those processes.
I don't know what they're trying to do.
My most hated thing that modern Android devices do is when you're streaming something, like a Chromecast or something, you can access the media on your lock screen. So you can fast forward or skip around and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they made the buttons really tiny. You can't... I've looked at all the settings. You can't make them bigger. They're really tiny, and the play button is right next to the scroll bar.
Oh.
So if you miss that play button by a tiny bit, because it's like the tiny X on the mobile game ads. You press the arrow, you just miss, and you skip to the end of the movie.
So you can't press the center of the screen?
What?
You can't
No,
push
no. This is when it's locked.
right.
So you're on your lock screen, and you want to pause because you're going to the toilet, and you're watching a free-to-air 9. You're watching Lego Masters. You accidentally press the slider, skips to the end, which automatically activates the ads, and you have to get back into the. You have to reload the episode, find where you were, and watch the ads for watching up to that bit. It's infuriating. And you can't change the buttons or anything. Like, I remember the HTCs had, you could customize, like, each button, you could be like, I want this to be this big and that to be this big. Like,
so you had like a Frankenstein phone. Yeah, I can see how that'd be really, 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 really annoying. I hate any, like, scrubbing through media on a phone.
Work.
It's terrible. Every single one.
Yeah. There needs to be like when you do it, like super zooms in or something, or like does something to make it easier. It's just impossible otherwise.
Yeah. Or like you have to do a circle motion, like a roundabout, and that would scrub forward or scrub back.
Right. Yeah.
And that way you avoid pushing any stupid buttons.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It felt like
big mountain.
Back then, the phones were making progress. They were making like new cool features and that kind of thing. Like all the time, every generation was really cool new features and stuff.
Yeah.
And now they're just placing more restrictions on it and making them more annoying to use. But they're giving you a better camera. It's like, I don't want a better camera. I just want a phone that works well. And works the way I want it to work.
I will say,
actually, the Show Me I had.
Yeah.
The Poco X3.
Oh,
That thing was
yeah.
amazing. And they use Android, but it's like one of those very modified versions of Android.
Yeah.
And it actually works a lot way better than standard Android.
Yeah.
I'm just sick of it. So right now I've got a Pixel, which is like the most Android you can get. I don't like it. I didn't like the last Samsung I had. I'm just so sick of modern Androids. They need to do something. They're just sick of them. And they're too big. All phones are way too big.
Look.
Apple has the perfect size phone right now.
I got the big one. And I
got the big one. But the 14 mini, it's like it'll fit in the palm of your hand.
Actually, yeah. No, I've got one for my work phone as well. And
the mini?
Yeah. And you can text without holding with two hands.
Yeah, you could do everything. You could reach the top. Like, that's what I want. I want a phone that size. No Androids are that size. You can get ones this big or giant. Like, just make a good size phone, you wankers.
Look, maybe you need to switch to Apple.
Well, I think because Apple Mini, it's the only one. But I don't want to. I can't. Like, I've hated Apple longer than anyone.
Yeah. But now it's an ego thing. Are you holding on to shitty phones because of your ego?
Yeah, but also I might not like the OS. And I'm spending $1,000 on a small phone with a shitty battery. Because there's another thing. Yeah, they're way worse batteries than the other ones. Because when they make them smaller...
The battery's smaller.
What they could do is make a thicker phone. But then people freak out. Like, people want to raise a thin phone. Like, why? Just make it thicker. Bigger battery.
And it doesn't snap in your pocket. Yeah. Well, see, my phone is... I can have this unplugged for 48 hours.
Yeah.
And it'll be at 20% at that point.
Yeah.
I rarely charge this phone. It's amazing.
Apparently the Mini, awful battery.
Okay. Well, that's no good.
Yeah. So I guess I just can't have... I'll never have a phone I'm happy with again. I think the last phone I really liked was either like the Sony X5, although I wasn't super happy with that.
Yeah.
It would have been the HTC One, I think. Had an awful camera, but boy, was that a good phone.
Now it's like you start to understand what the oldies miss about the really big numbers and the the flip phone. Man, how good was a Razor?
Well, those flip phones are pretty cool, the modern ones, but still, at the end of the day, when you're not using it closed, you're using it open, so you're still dealing with phone the size of a football.
Have you seen the big? So you can get the Samsungs where they fold out into the book. I only know one person with them, and he swears by it. But he also bought a Tesla.
Yeah, but people who swear by those, they want a giant phone.
Well, no, he does it for because when it's smaller, it's not. I think he said it's perfect for like emails and all of that stuff, but.
And then you still got the giant phone.
I don't like it. I think they're all dumb. I'm happy with mine.
Yeah, I don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone that has a bad battery.
Fair. Yep.
I believe society will fix this. Someone will make a good size phone.
No one's working out your video issues.
Because I've looked at one from Unihertz. Like, spec-wise, for its size, it's okay. But it's like 3 inches. It's like way too small.
3 inches?
Yeah, it'd be like it's like this big.
Oh.
Yeah, way too small.
Oh, you'd lose it.
Yeah.
And how are you going to scrub on that one?
Yeah. All right. That was a really flat one. We're very tired.
Jeremy.
Very last minute one. We back to things after Melbourne. We'll have a good fun bonus ep for yous, which we do a bonus episode every month.
Oh, yeah.
Best things in life.
For the patrons.
For the patrons. At patreon.com/dadversedad.
Yes. My mountain this week was vegan pushes.
And mine was modern Android phones.
Yeah, fair. All right. It's a good mountain.
All right.
Bye, Hungries.
Bye, Hungries. We're dads. Hi, Hungries.
Wait. My bloody chair. It's done a thing. Wait.
That's your one.
That's my intro. Hi, Hungries. We're dads. And
Hi, Hungries.
Oh, you're not. Oh, that was a perfect start. Hi, Hungries. We're dads. And this is the Dad vs. Dad podcast. Is that good?
One more time.
Did we do it?
Hi, Hungries.
We're dads.
This is the Dad vs. Dad podcast.